In this special edition of Dear Bros, we got 3 write-ins.
Holy shit.
3.
Stay tuned.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Tim Fulton.
I'm Andy Smith.
And I have a toothache, hence why I look like a chipmunk.
You look like you ran into a bee nest.
I look like
on the right side of your face.
I'd be dead.
Huh?
I'm allergic. I'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might be dead. Who knows? This might be the last episode of the Bro Down Podcast. All right, so
your
this
face is fucked up. Just say what it is.
So this is Dear Bros, a little segment where we rip advice column questions off of Dear Abby, and we answer them like they wrote into us instead. It's Andy's turn, so yes, we do have to suffer through him reading various advice column questions.
I'm getting
Andy,
better.
What do you got?
All right. We got a triple threat here today.
Ba, ba, ba.
These 3 were just so good. I had to do it. So we're gonna start off heavy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go down to medium.
Oh.
And then we're just gonna simmer.
Okay.
And lightheartedly.
I like how that goes.
Not really lightheartedly, but you'll get it. You'll get the flow. Ebbs and flows. This one is titled, Holiday Hosts Ready to Ban Brother from Festivities.
Wrong season already. Go ahead.
Okay. My brother Patrick and I have known Bobby for 20 years. Patrick is close friends with Bobby because they live in the same town. Recently, we found out that Bobby's best friend was arrested for child pornography. Screech. While Bobby knew nothing about this before the arrest, he still wants to support his friend. I told Patrick that Patrick will no longer be welcome in my home. I host for all holidays. If he does not cut off all contact with Bobby, my brother says I'm being too harsh because you can disapprove of someone's behavior and still be friends with them. I think that child pornography is morally and ethically wrong, and there's no middle ground here. What do you think? Should Bobby have a seat at our table? He has no other living family.
Oh.
There's not that many rules in life.
There's not.
Right?
There's not.
There's not a ton. I think there's a couple that we can all agree on, though. Right? You don't fuck with kids.
You don't fuck with kids.
You got to draw the line there.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless some weird way he's innocent.
I did read a book about that whole thing. It was a book, I almost said Dan Brown, by Harlan Coben. I forget the name of it.
Is it a fiction? Nonfiction.
Fiction.
Okay.
Nonfiction. Wait, which one's fake?
Real or fake? Just say real or
is
fake.
So it's fiction.
Breaking new ground here.
I'm not giving too much away because it's the intro to the book, but a guy goes over to someone's house to help someone with something. I forget what it was. And you remember that child porn sting show from a long time ago?
Oh, Dateline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a book replica of that, and he was like, I'm not supposed to be here, and no one believed him. And he eventually had to move away, and it was a whole thing. All right, maybe I did spoil that book. Sorry.
Okay.
But sorry.
Yeah, all those guys
I mean,
are child molesters.
I mean, yeah. You know what? No. She's right. I will say maybe Bobby is being a little altruistic, but he's in the wrong.
I gotta say,
you can't do it.
I gotta say, dude, like,
your friendship's not more important than all those kids.
Unless I felt,
Think about the children.
If I felt like, if one of my friends got caught with child porn, and I felt that he was innocent, and he convinced me beyond the shadow of a doubt, I might be like, okay, like I don't think you did this. But if he was like, yeah, like, I'm like, dude, so like, I don't know what happened to you, but like, no. Because in my head, that's going to escalate. It might not have escalated to the point where it's with some other kid yet.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. But that is going to happen.
It doesn't even matter because the people who look at that type of shit.
Oh yeah, there's children involved in the thing that they're watching.
And if people watch it, that means it's perpetuating more. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're not doing it on camera for the sake of it. They're doing it so people watch it. And if you're watching it, then that's part of the problem. So you are part of the problem.
Yeah.
You and I are
you got a sickness, dude. I don't know how you caught the bug, but you got the fucking sickness.
You got the sickness.
And, like, you can't have that shit. You can't have it. Yeah. You
Don't
just
get
can't
down
have
with
that.
sickness.
Like, Goodfellas. Remember? Like, you can't have it. You just can't have it. Can't have it. So, yeah, no. He does not go to the... Oh, wait. So she's banning the brother. Or he's banning his brother from going because he's still friends with him. That's what's going on.
No. Oh, yeah, you and I.
He or she...
Oh,
goes
you and
back-
I read this wrong. So Bobby is still friends with the child disguster.
Yeah.
Patrick is friends with Bobby. She's no longer inviting Patrick. Oh, so how does that go?
But at the end, he or she does say, should Bobby have a seat at our table?
Oh, no. I told Patrick he will no longer be welcome in my home. I think that he is Bobby. Oh, so we just did a full circle. So Bobby's no longer welcome. No, she's right. Bobby is no longer welcome until he cuts off ties.
No, Bobby is the guy.
No. Bobby's friend is the guy.
No, my brother Patrick and I have known Bobby.
Yeah, recently we found out Bobby's best friend was arrested for child pornography. So Bobby knows.
Oh,
Bobby knows someone.
We're a special kind of dumb.
No, I followed through with that. I thought you followed through with that too. So that would be like,
This is the friend of a friend.
yeah. So that would be like, no one I know watches child pornography that I'm aware of. But if someone I knew watched child pornography and I was like, he's still my friend, then you no longer inviting me to do BDP podcasts. Because you were too disgusted with the fact that I was still friends with that person.
Yeah.
I'm still okay with what she's saying. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I would need some serious evidence of, like, why are you still friends with him
Yeah.
before even considering that. Knee-jerk reaction, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Everything you said before still holds true. It's one of the few rules we have.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
like,
you don't do that.
you don't screw with
You
kids.
don't do that.
All right, what does the app say?
You're not welcome. I do not think you should excommunicate your brother because of something Bobby's friend did. See, now even she's confused.
The woman didn't write it correctly.
I believe the Bible says that while you can hate the sin, you should still love the sinner. Yeah, well, we're not perfect. And sometimes we all agree that some people should just not be here anymore. Like people that do stuff to kids. I believe the Bible says that while you can hate the sin, you should love the sinner, and that is what Bobby is doing. If you check with the reference, you may discover that have a copy somewhere in your home. The Bible?
She's literally telling them to read a Bible verse.
You can review that chapter with your brother at your home.
I don't think we've ever heard Abby
Is
say
Abby a
read the.
holy roller?
I don't think we've ever heard her say read the Bible, bitch.
Bro, is she a holy roller?
I guess she must be.
Preaching the word of God. What do you think about that? Because she's saying that he's gonna excommunicate his brother from the table.
I think she's confused, but I think the sentiment still holds true. Like,
Yeah.
large scale. B, not everyone follows the Bible, Abby. So what if they're not Christians? What if they're not Christian? What if they don't follow a religion?
Yeah.
B, C, 3, D.
You don't have to look up a reference. She just said it.
I.
She just said it. That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's self-explanatory.
But what you said still holds true. We're not perfect.
Yeah, that's like saying that's like, okay, I walk up and I shoot your dog in the head. Hey, hate the sin, not the sinner, bro. It's like, no, I'm gonna probably shoot you too. I'll probably shoot. Then I can just say that to everybody else. Don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's medieval justice.
Don't
on
hate the
this one.
play, I hate the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Holy
move on.
roller.
What's number 2?
All right, number 2. Boyfriend opts for new car instead of engagement ring.
Shit.
Oh boy.
Shit.
Oh boy. All right, dear Abby, I'm 35 and my boyfriend is 31. We met at work and moved in together. It has been 5 years and still no proposal. I thought we were on the same page, but he just purchased a brand new muscle car and is only concerned about that buying new sneakers, he has a sneaker obsession, and making more money. Well, that's a good thing. The last part might be a good thing. I currently share a rental lease with him, and I'm considering going separate ways in 3 months, mainly because he's complacent and our relationship has become stagnant. It is going nowhere. Please help.
This is one of those ones you got to talk about it. You can't just turn around and say, I'm leaving you.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. But look at him and say, I feel like we've gotten stagnant. Do you intend to propose anytime relatively soon? I would enjoy that. What is wrong with people saying, I know there's probably like the element of surprise, blah, 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 but like, what is wrong with people doing that?
There's a big thing, I think in general, not just like relationship stuff, but in general of like, it's for whatever reason, whether it's like how we grow up or like trying to, in the effort of being polite, for not just just being like, here's the problem, and like, let's just have a conversation about it. Because there's always that thing where people get hung up on like how it said, what it said, all that stuff. And then there's also that like the argumentative factor where it like things like that, or like it always ends up becoming about something else.
Yeah.
As opposed to like what it is. This seems to be one of those situations where either like they haven't like discussed about that, or she's thinking in her head like, oh, I want to be here, and he's like, I want to be over here. So I also tend to have a problem with one thing.
What?
I get concerned when people place monetary values on something in regards to somebody that they're planning on like spending the rest of their life with. Like, if I hear somebody like, for example, like engagement ring, like, oh, like I thought you'd spend more money on it, or I need a this carat ring or whatever, that concerns me.
That concerns me too.
Because it shouldn't, not to say that you should like cheap out, because I guess in a way, like it does show like, oh, I love you this amount of money, but there's a concern there because it's not supposed to be about that. It's not supposed to be about that.
It shows that what they're after isn't the person wholeheartedly themselves. They're after the event and the symbolism and all that, and not. Yeah,
they're putting the stake in like the wrong area of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's almost like
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The person who should have the ring and the wedding is the person who should be comfortable saying, I would marry you down at the courthouse if we need to.
And like mean that.
And mean it.
Yeah.
Not the person who's saying, where is my carrots?
Yeah. And the same thing goes the other way around.
Yeah.
Like if the dude is looking at it like, oh, well, like I want fucking whatever, and it's like, you're only getting me this for my birthday, like fuck that. Like that dude, like, should be happy with whatever. Like, that's it. Like, money shouldn't be like, the cost of things shouldn't be like a sign of like how much somebody cares about you, for the most part. Fair. Right?
Do you want some good news real fast before we get onto our actual advice?
Okay.
You remember Allie, who was a co-star on the show not too long ago?
Yeah.
Maybe relatively long ago. I'll link to that at the end of the podcast. Her daughter just got engaged.
Oh.
She was nervous because she's super young. She's not even 21. I think she's 20.
Whoa.
And
Wasting
originally,
no time.
Her now fiance said that he's in the Army.
Okay.
He said that he was going to wait until after she's done with school, after he is home and not retired from the Army, but no longer at risk of deployment, blah, 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 blah. But he was so excited that he couldn't help himself, and he wanted to do it right away. So they're planning for a long engagement. They're going to be engaged until at least she's done with school, but he just couldn't help himself. And
good for him.
I watched the video of him proposing. She had no clue. They both sobbed. It was cute.
They both sobbed.
They did. They did.
I'm super messed up in the head. My immediate thought is, I got a lot of problems.
Yes, you do. All right. So what do you tell this woman? Does she leave or does she go?
I think have the conversation, but unfortunately, with this situation, this is going to be one of those, like, how long, like, she has to put a deadline on, like, how long she's willing to wait. And then if he's like, I'm not ready, or I don't want that, or whatever, then, like, that's it. That's it. Because it's like it's not like, oh, I wish we had painted the room yellow. It's like, well, I painted it blue. It's like, well, how important is the room being yellow to you? Like, well, enough for me to leave. It's like, okay, well, it's blue.
Oh, that's a dumb thing to fight about. But
No, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all right, well, if it's going to be another 5 years or whatever, and and she's like, well, I'm not willing to wait that long. He's like, well, she's like, okay, but
especially because they're, no offense to her, she's not old, but she's getting older. So
Yeah.
you would think that at some point she would want relatively soon the wedding, not just the engagement, but the wedding.
yeah. I mean, if she wants to start having
35.
kids and everything like that, I don't know, like people.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
There should be a conversation.
Yeah,
What is it?
conversation. But again, it might not work out the way you want it to.
But if she's willing to leave anyway, then that's why the conversation's warranted.
Yeah, it sounds like she's willing to just walk out. You know what? This might be over. This might be over. She's already considering leaving. She's been with him 5 years. He just bought a car, always concerned about buying shoes and making more money. I mean, 5 years is a long time, but I don't know. Something about this this seems like it's not.
Doesn't
there.
smell right.
All right, dear hope for more. Getting to know someone takes time. Be glad you have realized this man isn't husband material before you wasted more time wanting him to mature. Hang in there until the lease is up, then move. What does that say? Resolutely. Parting, I hope, as friends. Man.
She is like...
Isn't it? Man. It is funny how...
she's in a mood.
I mean, granted, like, if you're like a numbers guy and someone asks you, what do I do? That's the advice. But that's some, like, just wait till the lease is over to pull the ripcord.
Yeah, but that's like...
She's not saying talk it out.
No, I know, but that's the equivalent of someone having a 2-6 in poker and hold'em with no ante, and you're like, fold, and they're like, but there's no ante to bet here. I can just play out the bridge, and it's not gonna work, fold.
Yeah.
And you'd be right, except there's no harm in having the discussion. There's no harm in having the discussion. Just try. That's what I'm saying. Move on. Next.
Yeah. She's coming in hot. So last one.
She's just angry today.
35-year marriage lacks signature moment. What do you think the signature moment is? Take a guess.
Honeymoon? Honeymoon.
Okay. Wrong. But okay.
There's 1,000 different.
Don't look. I've been married to my best friend since I was 15.
Okay. Holy shit.
This is yeah. Now I'm 50. I've never had an orgasm. I want to experience one so badly that I'm willing to cheat. We have talked about our sex life and how it's not been satisfying for me. Please tell me what I can do. I mean, did you ever hear the phrase, if you want something done right, do it yourself?
I was going to say the same thing.
You never thought...
There are certain places you can visit now online.
Yeah, you're 50, not 500. You use the internet, right? I'm sure you've wandered across the internet down some dark alleys and maybe seen some tools that could help you with this job.
Yeah, start there. Get a little Mr. Handy.
Yeah.
And work on it yourself.
And not for nothing, based on this email, you sound pretty flat.
I was kind of right. What was missing was an adequate honeymoon.
Yeah.
Adequate being the key word.
Yeah.
Keyword.
But I mean, like, this woman sounds like a computer typed it.
Well, you'd be a computer too.
Is that part of the problem?
At this point, maybe.
Because she basically like, yeah, talk to him about it, and I'm just willing to cheat. I'm gonna cheat on him. Let's just cheat. No toys, cheat.
She probably doesn't. At 50 years old, without ever experiencing something like that, she probably does. Like, it sounds stupid, but she probably doesn't know. I don't know how to.
I mean, she has been married to somebody since she was 15.
That's so young.
That sounds like religion's involved.
Yeah, it does.
But can't be too religious because she's going to cheat on her husband.
You can only go so far.
That's true. So, advice for this lady.
Toy.
Okay. And if that doesn't work, sounds like she just wants to get some strange. She knows about toys, right? She's got friends.
You know what? I'm in a weird... you don't know. Maybe her friends are all religious. We just said religion might play a factor. What if all of her friends are nuns?
It's true. Oh, get out of here.
I'm
Nobody's
exaggerating-
friends with nuns.
I'm exaggerating for the point of emphasis, but you see my point.
I get you. I read you.
I'm in a weird spot because I'm one of those people who thinks you don't cheat. 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 She was 15 when she got married. Something about that doesn't smell right either.
No. Sounds a lot like the first one.
Yeah. So, I'm at a crossroad. I don't know. I don't think a 15-year-old should be able to get married. 35 years. How long ago? That wasn't even 85. 1985.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Not only that, like, you got to find, like, a guy in his 50s or some younger guy who's into older women try to blow your back out because you kind of missed their prime, probably, in a lot of ways.
There's some guys who are good to go at 50.
Just saying. Let's hear what the abs has to say. Before looking for sexual fulfillment outside your marriage, you and your husband should ask your doctor for a referral for a sex therapist. You both married very young. He may never have learned how to please a woman. This does not mean he isn't capable of learning. Frankly, because you have never experienced an orgasm, you may need some coaching or pointers.
Some guys ain't good at it, dude. What can I tell you?
I mean, listen.
You know what? If the toy doesn't work, maybe him with the toy will work.
Listen.
That was part of my thing. That was part of my question in the back of my head. If you're 15 years old and you don't know any better, and you marry a guy who can't get it past the threshold, you won't know the difference.
I'm going to just say this. If you walked into a mechanic shop at 15 and you'd never worked in one before and you never fixed a car before, by the time you're 50, do you think you'd know how to change the oil? You'd probably pick up some shit.
That means two things.
Right? You'd probably just be like, oh, what does this thing do? Oh, that's what that thing does. Oh, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Stay away from that. Yeah. It sounds like this guy was putzing around the mechanic shop for the last 35 years.
There are a lot of question marks that I'm curious about here.
Yeah.
I don't hate her advice, though. I'm going to be honest. I don't hate her advice.
No, it's good advice.
I think that's the best advice here so far.
Yes.
I'm surprised she didn't be like, well, chapter 3 of the Bible says, if you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, you will turn into a pillar of salt, and henceforth put
Boyfriend
salt
from Advice
in
2
your
is
broth.
going to be single soon and looking for a roommate.
Yo, bro, get those two together.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts?
No. How about you?
Negative.
Okay, so let us know what you think about these questions in the comment section down below. Should the woman cheat? Should the woman leave? Should the woman... I forget what the first one was.
Invite the pedophile friend to her.
Oh, no, you don't even get to say that.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry.
We got
I'm
that one
sorry.
covered.
We got it covered. Did you know that you could ask us your own questions and we will actually answer them on the same forum, so we don't have to steal from Abby anymore? You can do so by going to brodownpro.com. There's a portal there where you can email us a question, completely completely confidential, and we will just email you when it will be posted if you so choose to leave your email. In the meantime, don't forget to Google Dear Abby for yourself. We don't just like to steal her questions. We like to give her a little credit as well. They're entertaining. I'm fucking this whole goddamn
It's all
thing
good, bro.
up. If you Google her, all of them are entertaining. You'll find her almost right away. This has been Tim Fulton. That's been Andy Smith. I still have a toothache. We'll see
Stay
you guys
away
next
from
time.
bees.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.